Hello, welcome to the Joy Seeker podcast. I'm Shannon, Kaiser, your host, and I am so excited to be here today because today we have a very powerful message. In fact, it is the imperative message for all of us seeking more love and joy in our life. And if you have been feeling like you want to make a difference and you know that there's got to be a better way to live, then stay tuned. Today's topic is for you. So before I dive in, I want to share a little bit about the Joy Seeker podcast. This podcast is dedicated to helping you, empowering you to trust and believe in yourself so you can live a life that you're made for, so you can live a life that feels good, that feels joyful, that feels peaceful. We all want more balance, we all want more peace, and that is what this weekly system and message is all about. Today I want to talk to you about self-love, but not in the way that you think. So I am the author of the book called The Self-Love Experiment. I'm also the author of a book called Joy Seeker, Let Go of What's Holding You Back so you can live the life you were made for, which comes out later this year. But interesting enough, these books really work well together, but I wanted to dive into why I wrote The Self-Love Experiment. And that, just hang with me for a moment, because whether you've read the book or not, it leads into today's message. I really went on a quest to learn how to become my own best friend. I was looking outside of myself at how to be happy. And interesting enough, my life was kind of in shambles. I would cry myself to sleep every night. I did not feel good in my body. I was addicted to drugs. I suffered silently from eating disorders. And for years, I couldn't even look in a mirror and say one nice thing about myself. So I said, I need to feel better. And I went on what I call my own self-love experiment. And it turned into my last book. And it wasn't until I got to a place in my own journey when I recognized the true power of self-love. And that is what today's message is about. Because if you are like me, you may be looking out into the world and thinking, whoa, there is a lot of fear. There's a lot of manipulation. There is a lot of frustration. There's a lot of blame. There's a lot of people yelling, throwing shade, judging, comparing, all kinds of real animosity being thrown out into the world. Countries at war with each other, even if it's just across Twitter, and real countries at war. And even within our own country, whether you're listening to this and you're American or you're out in another country, think about your own country. And there's a lot of bickering. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of hate. And this hate is anger expressed out in the world. It's a lot of judgment. I want to talk to you today about how we can fix this. This message is inspired by a weekly message it's really inspired by a monthly message that I just heard from my teacher, Summer Bacon, who works with the Spirit of Dr. Peebles. And interesting enough, they were talking in a recent open session that they were doing about the power of how we can help bring more light into the world, how we can help really transform the world from this fear-based reality, this anger that we're all living in and throwing around at each other. It has to come back to ourselves. That's what I'm here to share today. Because in my own self-love experiment, in my journey, I got to a place where I realized, oh my goodness, I have the power to make a difference by loving myself. I said, suddenly it made sense. To stop hating myself is to raise the vibration and love on the planet. To stop loathing myself is to reduce the negativity and pain in the world. You see, so many of us are looking outside of ourselves and we're throwing anger, we're judging, we're blaming, we're saying if only this person wasn't in office, or if only this, my sister-in-law didn't say that to me, if only my, family member would do this, then I could be happier. But we have it wrong. We have it backwards. That's what this message is about. It's about you and your relationship for yourself. Because if we look outside of ourselves and we try to make changes there, it will always be fleeting. That's that something missing inside of us. We feel like something's missing. So many of us are trying to feel better and we keep doing more, but really it's about being more in touch with ourselves. It's about allowing the light within you to really come forth. So Our outside world is a reflection of our internal state. This is a lesson in the Course in Miracles, and it's a spiritual lesson that really shows us all that everything has to really start on the inside of you. So if we're looking out in our world and we're seeing all this anger, this pain, this hate and animosity, we can only ask ourselves, what pain, hate, and animosity do we have within ourselves? Perhaps you're mad at yourself because you're not where you think you should be. Maybe you're pissed off because you've been trying really hard to solve a problem and you feel like you're just right back where you started. Maybe you're mad at God or the universe and you're just freaking mad at the world. And so you take it out on yourself with self-sabotage, or you take it out on other people, or you blame other people. The point is, we all have parts of ourselves inside of ourselves that could use more compassion and love. We all have pieces of ourselves that need to be nurtured. We can help uplift the planet and change the course of the direction of our society and our culture by being more kind and compassionate to ourselves. Start with you. It has to start with you. The kindness that we want to see in the world cannot exist if we aren't first kind to ourselves. So instead of being angry or throwing shade or judging or condemning or getting mad at other people, whether it's someone you've met or haven't met, this animosity that you're holding on to towards anyone, it's eating us up alive. And so this is a call to action. This is a dire straits message, because we are at a turning point and we have an opportunity to transform our world into more love, or we can keep going deeper and darker into fear. And that is not why I'm here. That is not why you're here. That's not why you listen to the Joy Seeker podcast. And that's not why you're part of Play with the World. So my friend, please be kind to yourself. Please look at the anger in your own heart, and please do your best to just know you're doing the best you can, and compassion is the way forward. Watch yourself. Are you judging others? Are you thinking negative thoughts? Catch yourself and go back inward and know that you are enough as you are. Thanks for playing with the world. I love you guys. I will see you again for another uplifting message. This week, it's all about kindness and compassion, and forevermore, choose you, choose self-love, and remember, suddenly it made sense. To stop hating ourselves is to raise the vibration and love on the planet. When you stop loathing yourself, you reduce the negativity and pain in the world, and you are doing your part to help save the world. Thanks for being here. Thanks for playing with the world.